Recording.
Raise was coming.
All right, welcome everyone to our fourth SHAC meeting of the year. I want to welcome, we don't have any new members, but we have guests. And I'll start with Ruth Christiana. She's from the Sanpat County Community-Based Program. She'll be speaking in a moment. Rosemary Thomas, she's our new nurse from Falk. This is her first SHAC meeting. Tracy Morales, y'all know me, I'm the nurse at Marshall. This is Martha Rose, thank you. She's from Texas A&M University, Kingsville. She'll be one of our speakers today on community needs assessment on mental health, and we're all looking forward to that. Miss Chronister from AC Blunt, she's one of our counselors. I guess I could have had you all introduce yourself. Stephanie Wicke from Charlie Marshall. Cindy Mann, our food service director. Stephanie is a counselor from Charlie Marshall. Cindy is our food service director, and Clarissa Quintanilla is the counselor at Falk. And Linda White is our secretary and does the minutes. So welcome everyone.
High school and AC Blunt nurse.
That's it. So we want to do the minutes. We want to approve last two meetings minutes. So
I approve both of them with the corrected one and then the last month's meeting,
that's
or 2 months ago.
okay. Thank you very much. I second it. So we have an approval. So without further ado, just wanted to say real quick that Mr. Tony Davila is not here present, or Greer Jane. So I didn't have a chance to double check with them. I did send them an email to let them know, and they were told of the next minutes at last meeting, so they are not here today, unfortunately. So, but I will say now it is time for, we're excited to have Martha Rose here to speak on the community needs assessment on mental health.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Martha Rose, and I have a soft spot in Aransas Pass. I was, when it was just Falk and not this beautiful building that's over there, campus principal there for I think 5 years maybe, and then became middle school principal. I was special ed director for like a hot minute, and then became middle school principal in Aransas. I want to say I was there for about 7 years, 8 years? I don't know, yeah. Something, when you reach my age, you forget how long you do anything. I'm now retired, but I'm working on a consultant level with Texas A&M Kingsville with mental health initiatives. I was, previous to becoming a principal, I was a school counselor, and that was where my master's work was in counseling. So I've been given a great opportunity with Dr. Bain and Dr. Garza at A&M Kingsville. So what I'm doing is I'm working with about 3 different grants at A&M Kingsville, and I reached out to Wayne Bennett to offer what we were doing in our rural communities, because I didn't want Aransas to miss out if they were interested. And I shared with them that a lot of what we're doing really fits into the goals of what your SHAC committee is all about, your school health advisory committee. It also ties into if you receive Title IV funding through your title grants, your ESSA grants, that well-rounded student that you're looking at. And especially since we've gone through COVID, we've had the pandemic, as we all know, and issues that we're still dealing with since then with mental health issues. We have received 4 different grants. We have a Coastal Bend Community Foundation grant for about $18,000. We then received a grant from King Ranch Family Trust for about $50,000, and then we received a grant from Healthy South Texas for about $30,000. Within those grants, what our goal is to provide one of our first trainings is what we call First Contact. And that's a training coming in and working with cafeteria staff, working with bus drivers, working with maintenance directors, working with custodial staff, all the staff that typically doesn't get the training that your professionals or paraprofessionals typically do in the schools. And this is to also make sure that they understand they're advocates for our children's mental health as well. And what does that look like from their lens? So we offer a 2-hour training for your staff. With that, we've done several trainings. We've worked with the Kingsville ISD. We've worked with Driscoll, Bishop, Santa Gertrudis, San Diego, Freer so far with first contact training. Lots of good things have come out of those conversations with that staff. I know we all went through mental health first aid when we first came back, but it didn't really acknowledge this population we have in the school districts, and that's where we're coming at. We're coming at that angle too. Sometimes they're the kids' first contact coming into school. That's where we came up with the name. And a lot of times they're the last ones that our kids talk to as well. And just providing the training, not expecting them to be, we have a disclaimer, we don't expect them to be mental health experts. We don't expect them to counsel. What we do is we talk about what do you do when you start to see something that's happening. You know, your food service, they see those kids that go through the line with food insecurities all the time. Do they know who or what to do or who to tell or how does that look? The same with custodians. You have custodians that are seeing the same kids hiding out in the bathrooms or getting dropped off at 5 o'clock in the morning or all those kinds of things that if we have everyone who's that mental health advocate for our students, we might can prevent some of the things that we know are happening, such as Uvalde and those situations that have happened. So that's the first thing we offer is a first contact training. That I would love to be able to come in and provide that with your staff. Everything we offer is free to you. We come in, we provide the training. If depending on the time of day that we do the training for you, we can provide breakfast or lunch for your staff and their time. And you know, we just spend a good couple of hours providing that training. So that's the first one, is just making our staff, our whole staff, know that they're important in the well-being of our children. The second component that we do with our funding is what we call the Delphi method. And this is where we come in, and I really thought the SHAC committee would be a great committee to start with. Anywhere from 10 to 12 people. I will tell you, in one of our districts, Bishop, we ended up with only 5 and we still had great results. So don't let the 10 to 12 scare you. I know sometimes it's hard getting, you would think it wouldn't be, but it is, and I know it is. But what we do is a community needs assessment. This is taking, and we use a research-based method called the Delphi method, and taking your community members, your business members. I recommend having a couple of staff members as well that go through the process of identifying what are the mental health needs specific to Aransas Pass. Not what somebody's coming in and saying this is what the community needs, because it all looks different. We just did one with Driscoll. Well, their community needs assessment looks completely different, because one of the things that they're dealing with is now that they have the overpass, they no longer have a police department there. They can't fund one. We all know Driscoll was our hot speed ticket, right? I mean, all of us probably have gotten a ticket at Driscoll if you've been here, if you've lived here long enough.
It's on my bucket list.
Right? Well, I've gotten a couple, so you can just have one of mine. But we all know it. But because it's bypassing that community, they no longer have a police department. They have to use neighboring communities for police and for any healthcare and any kind of emergency calls that are happening. So that's a huge mental health issue. You've got things that communities are dealing with, anxiety there of knowing that something could happen in the community and it may take a while before it comes there. That's unique to them. So it all comes out through this method that two professors from A&M and myself will take your community through identifying what are the mental health. First of all, what does our community define mental health as being? And then second, what does that look like in our community as to gaps or areas that we know we need help? And then it provides a starting point for the schools and community to start working together to go through what can we be providing for our students? How can we use what funding we have for our students? It's very powerful. It also takes about, I want to say it takes about 2.5 hours to take it through that, but the conversation that comes out of it is pretty powerful. One of the districts just so happened to have one of their school board members come and participate in it. And when they were leaving, they wanted to do like a town hall presentation of what came out because they wanted the community to be involved. And then our hope is to be able to help guide and lead you and help you get those services that could be out there to come into the community. So that's really it in a nutshell. We just have 2 opportunities for Aransas if they would like to take us up on them. And one is the community needs assessment. And just from a school lens, the community needs assessment could be used with, I know in SHAC, I oversaw SHAC when I was working in GP. You have your report, you have your plan that you have to do every 3 years, your crisis plan and all of those things. You can use the data from that. From your state funding side of it, it can be used within your district and campus improvement plans that give you just one more data piece to help you with the spending of federal funds as well. So it can be twofold and help you in different ways as well. So any questions about?
How do we sign up?
You just tell me and you tell me what dates and we'll make it happen. We'd really like to get the Delphi method completed before the end of May. I know that's kind of tough right now, but we're willing to do evenings, we'll do Saturdays. We can do during, if you have a half day coming up and you want to bring the community, and then you just would need, I would recommend, a good variety. And one of the districts even asked if they could bring in a couple of high school students, which, we're more than willing for that, because that's even one more lens to be looking at. When we say mental health, what does that mean to your children?
Who did you, in the other districts, who was that person that got it together with you?
It's been a variety. So some of the smaller Kingsville was our largest district. And so they are lucky in having an LSSP in their district. So she's the one that helped organize the first contact training for us and is working with us to get the Delphi the community needs assessment done. The counselor in Bishop is the one that we were working with. Santa Gertrudis, I've been working with the curriculum director there, Fatima, who's there. So it's been a variety of people who are helping us to organize. We don't need a whole lot, we just need people and a projector, and we come in and take care of the rest. We've done food in a couple of different ways. Some of the districts wanted the revenue to go back in their district, so their food service catered for us, and we just paid the school district. The one we're doing in Beeville on the 29th, we're doing it at an actual restaurant in one of the back rooms, and we're having it catered there because they wanted to treat those that were willing to give up an evening to do it like that. So it's just been a variety of who is organizing and working with me to get this going. But the first contact training, we've received some really positive responses back from that with staff. It was so interesting because one of our districts said, several years ago, we were told we weren't allowed to even talk to the children. The new superintendent happened to be walking through at that time, and she was floored. She was like, oh my gosh, of course you can talk to the children. You're there, you're with them. But they had the understanding left over from previous administration that they weren't even allowed to talk to the children. You know, what a misuse of staff, you know. Elementary campuses, sometimes your custodians or your bus drivers or your maintenance that comes on campus is your only male model that you have coming on campus. You know, you get to high school and sometimes you have more male than female, you know, it just depends. So, you know, everybody's part of our children's life here. So you, if you wanna make the commitment and we wanna pick a date, if y'all wanna talk about it and then get back with me. But I really would like to bring this into Aransas as well.
I vote yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
It'd probably be get with Mr. Bennett and figure out who he wants to put in.
He was pretty on board with it
Yeah.
too, when him and I spoke. He just couldn't be here today, and wanted me to be able to come and share with you, but some good things do come out of it, and it's a place to grow from. And you know, it's interesting to hear what people define mental health as, because we kind of use the word like it's a standalone, like you have mental health right now. We all have mental health. It's just whether our mental health is on the positive side or on the not, I don't want to say negative side, but on the struggling side. You know, but we have mental health with us every day, all day long. And we want to keep it on the healthy side as much as we can.
It tends to change every day too.
Yes, every hour, every 30 minutes, especially the closer you get to May 31st, right? Or how many tests you have, or, yes, absolutely.
Martha, before school starts, my department does do a training. We have an all-day training that we have to get our hours in for lots of things through TDA and USDA. And with the staff that we have, it's 22 to 24 people. Maybe I can just schedule in for our department, because you know, during that week before school starts, everybody has their meetings and you know, their groups and everything. But maybe you and I
That would
can
be a
talk
good
later,
2 hours.
and I can that's really the only time my staff can come together, except couple of times through the school year. But other than that, I can call you and let you know. I have to first see what the plans are for the school, because I work around their schedule, and then I schedule my staff meetings
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But we can do it, you know, in our department, separate maybe from the district, because the district does make their, you know, or the campuses make their meetings and what they're doing, training and all that, so we all, you know how that is.
yeah.
And, but yeah, I would like that, because, honestly, I mean, maybe not so much at Falk, but like even starting at Marshall, there are already young girls that are already so self-conscious that they don't want to eat, or,
They
you know,
refuse
you
to
want,
eat, yes.
you know, and, you know, and it just starts from there, and just, it's just not eating, it's just other things. And, but you are right, the first person they see in the morning is the custodian, who's there at 6:30, and then our morning staff, you know, so, just, it'd be a good opportunity, you know.
And a lot of it's just letting them know that what they see in students is valued, that we value what they're seeing.
Right.
That, you know, we want them to speak up or say something to
Right.
us, and.
But like you said, they're not there to assess them or fix it, it's just being aware of it, and they can talk to the counselor or the principal at the campus.
Right.
You know, or tell me, and I just give it to counselor or the principal, but, you know, it's just.
Exactly, that's exactly it, that we want them to understand, you know, this is a child that always tells me good morning, and for the last 3 or 4 days, they're not saying good morning anymore, or they've got the hoodie on, they're pulling it down, or they're refusing to eat. It's out of their norm because they see those kids every day. You know, that maybe we can step in sooner and quicker. So, and then, like I said, the community needs assessment is just powerful. You really come out, and it's a very simple process, but it's a very powerful process when you come out of it, and what it brings to light about the community. So, anyway, good.
Sounds helpful and great.
Oh, good. Then what I will do is I will get back with you and Wayne, so y'all can talk about dates and stuff, and I'll do a follow-up with him. And I will put y'all on my pending calendar,
Good.
and we'll get this going here. I'm glad to hear it, because I just did not want Aransas to get left. Good. Any other questions or anything?
reached out to all the cities in San Patricio County?
We've been trying, and if you know of anybody and you want to say it or you want us to, we've had, we know timing is a little hard with some. We just finished with Provera, we've reached out to like Agua Dulce, but we're trying to get on this side as well, so done a little bit talk in Rockport. And really, because this is through the Institute for Rural Mental Health in Kingsville, but majority of our communities are rural, even, you know, you think Corpus isn't, but there's outliers in Corpus that are considered rural as well. And in 7 years, from 2017 to 2024, the communities that have access to mental health providers has decreased by huge amounts, and so more and more of our communities just don't have anybody that's considered a provider available to them. So, you know, we were even talking, you know, with one community, what would it look like if you had a traveling mental health, you know, provider, like say on a bus that came into your community set up, you know, kind of like the blood banks and those kinds of things. One community thought it was a great idea, one community did not. That's where it comes into, you know, you look at it, one community felt like people would be making fun of them, or it would be a stigma. One community said, we don't care, we'd love to have that come in. Yeah, but we're trying to get to as many of the rural communities as we can. So, and if we keep moving like we're moving, we're hoping that we'll continue to be funded so we can make this go even longer, is what our hope is. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I'm excited that y'all are reacting in a positive manner, and we'll get together.
Yeah.
And then I'll get back with you as well, so we can get that done. All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming.
Yes, it was good to come back and see everyone.
I wanna introduce before you go, Ruth Christiana. She's a program manager for Santac
Okay.
County Community-Based Program. And I just want you to tell everyone a little bit about your program.
Sure. Before you leave, I did want to mention one thing. One of the programs that we have there, or that I oversee, is on health disparities. And as you were talking, I was just wondering, maybe like, you know, on the side, I could contact you because the young lady, well, everybody to me is a young lady. The older-
Me too.
She would love to hear that. She's 67. And so she oversees that program. And unfortunately, her grant only allows her to serve Mathis and Sinton. We're trying to get that extended to Odom and Taft. And then maybe the next grant year, keep moving this way, right? And she just did a presentation to the city council there in Sinton on all the research or surveys that she took during the past 2 years. Because her new grant starts June the 1st. And just talking about just the health disparities, and I think maybe you might find her information valuable, and I think she would just find, you know, maybe you have to collaborate on something, because it just kind of, there's a connection.
Absolutely, and the more we bring it together, the stronger we get, because it's not going away.
And it's interesting that you said the mobile unit, because the presentation that she did in Sinton, she had to present 5 of the health disparities that the community shared in the surveys, and one was healthcare there in Sinton. And of course, it's not just to go in and complain about everything that, you know, people feel we don't have, but then what are solutions? And the number one solution she had for that was people are wanting a mobile unit, where they could just have a mobile unit come in, you know, every so often or whatever, you know. The answers were varying, but that was the number one solution, was a mobile unit for that, so.
You know, or even providing some type of Wi-Fi access so they could access, you know, those that we now have online, but making sure it's a good place for them. Yeah, that would be great.
Just mental health is just becoming such a, I mean, every conference that you know, has that component. I'm getting ready to go to conferences, and both of them have a component on mental health. It's just interesting, and it's becoming less and less of a stigma, so I'm glad to see that. But anyway, so yeah, we can do that. There at the health department, our department under the health department, or sub-department, right, is community-based programs. And so what we have 4 different grants in that department, and we offer health education in the community anywhere in San Patricia County. We only have that one grant that's limited to Mathis and Sinton. All the rest extend, and offer services to the entire county. We have, I'll pass these out, y'all can read, I don't need to read these to you. But for the most part, in a nutshell, it's just offering health education is, through the schools, the SHAC meetings, the parent meetings. I had a meeting on TAP last Tuesday where some parents were concerned about not knowing how to speak to their daughters. And there were 2 gentlemen in that meeting too, about sex and starting their period. And so we had a really good meeting, it was very productive, and just being real open and honest. And so, that would be one example, or just going into the schools. I think I'm coming here, I think to the middle school, right, and speaking to them about fentanyl and just drugs and alcohol, and just presenting, whether it's the schools and the health classes or the PE classes, any topic, any health related topic, whatever the need is, we have a team. We all have different grants, but all of our grants allow us to come and present on any needed health topic, with the exception of the one that has to present only in Sinton and Mathis, but the rest of our grants extend all the way over here. There is a walking program and an exercise program, but I'll just pass these out and you just want to grab one. And then I brought one also that this is our department community-based program, but then this is the entire health department, all the different programs that are there. Right. So you can just get a blue and a green one, but really enjoy being part of SHAC. I don't know, Virginia, I don't know if y'all know her, she was the program director, she was there for like 20 years, so she retired. And when we transitioned, she sent an email out to everybody, and there's just been a lot of I guess, we're just so busy at the beginning of the year, and the transition took place end of August, beginning of September. So I was glad that you reached out to me, because I know there's sometimes turnover, and she did send an email, letting people know that I was the new program manager. But I think we found out with a lot of those emails with the nurses, they just went to the wrong person, so it's just taking some time to get that. But anyways, I'm just be glad to be part of this, community and be present in all of that meetings. That's allowable. Sure, I do again. Odom, that's been very consistent, and we just got, we're able to make contact with Sinton and Mathis, so make sure that we're present everywhere. Yes.
Yes. And you're also doing the pink event tomorrow?
Tomorrow
in Sinton. I know it's pretty tough for us. We went last year, but we won't be able to go this year. But it's well worth it. It's a lot of, we'll tell the folks, ladies, what you do.
The pink event is an event that the county puts out every year, and it's on breast cancer. And they always have a guest speaker who is an expert in that topic. It's from the community, and then they also have a survivor, a breast cancer survivor, or a person who is currently undergoing breast cancer treatments. I was a guest speaker last year. You were there.
I did. So, very good too.
10 years cancer-free, thank God. So we're excited about tomorrow. It's free, and there's a lunch. And just getting together with all those women and being able to share your story or hear somebody's story. And when you walk in the room, I remember last year, I was working for juvenile detention at that time. And so I remember just walking in the room and just seeing everyone there, and just, the support, and just being able to share that information with all the women. I know when I was diagnosed, you hear about breast cancer, but you learn so much going through it, just knowing that, you can get through it, and just learning about, having a strong support system, and of course they'll be talking about that tomorrow as well. But then also last year, the lady that they had speak was very informative. She had a lot of good points that she made, and she really brought it down, in so way you could really understand. Even having gone through the process, I remember her little presentation she had, I learned, and so it's, again, just the bond, just the bond of women and just us there encouraging each other to make sure that we are following up with our breast exams, not only, with our doctors, but personal, just making sure that we have that little reminder in our shower with all the little steps and all the things we're supposed to do, and just reminding our friends as well to make sure that we're getting our checkups and getting our mammograms. So I enjoyed it. I actually had a few men from the county asked me a couple of days ago if they could attend. I said, yeah, sure, it's not just a women's, I said, but you have to wear pink, so you don't have to, but most people do. So we're excited about that. Tomorrow, maybe next year, you can work it into your schedules. It's every year, it's in April, and it's just a really good time to sit back and, remember to take care of ourselves. We forget so often, right? It's different, just to take care of ourselves. So anyways, I know some people just say, well, just getting off of work and just coming to the event is just a little, it's a little treat, just, to be able to do that, to take some time off. Because I know for all the county employees, they're allowed to go, and it's, it's acceptable. Your supervisor can't tell you that you can't go. It's open to all county employees and then all public, anybody in the community to attend as well.
Wish we could do it on a Saturday or
I know.
Later in the day.
end of May. The end of May.
Well, we can bring that up. I mean, it never hurts to
Like
ask.
right after school's out.
I know.
But you never know when
I-
that's gonna be.
I know. I noticed last year that as soon as it was over, it was like, shoom, everybody talking about, because they're trying to get back to work, And so I was telling the team today, because we were, we have certain responsibilities, that our department has to take care of tomorrow. And I said, be careful at the end, because it's like a stampede. I mean, all the winners, as soon as the door prizes are given away, it's like, shoom, because everybody's trying to get back to work. So yeah, that is a good point,
So what time is it, and do you have to pre-register for the event, or is it free?
Well,
or
they like you
how
to
does all that work?
pre-register, it is free, but they always take into account that we're gonna have people come at the last minute, right? And then we have people who do pre-register, and it's not so much, you just call in and say, I wanna save 2 spots, or 1 spot, or 4 spots. They're not asking for your name or number, or nothing else, they just wanna know a body is coming. And so then we also have people who do that, and then they're not able to come, so there's always extra. It starts at 11:30, that's from 11:30 to 12 is your time to visit all the vendors, and then at 12, the program starts.
And where do y'all have it at?
There at the fairgrounds,
Okay.
in Centon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so,
That's good.
even if you can't come, but let's say that tonight you're thinking of somebody, hey, let me tell my mom or my sister or what, even the staff, I said, tell your sisters come, your mother. So a lot of them are bringing their mothers, and I'm bringing my mom, and just try to get as many people there as possible, just to get that valuable information.
They have a nice lunch too. It is.
You had mentioned something about the fentanyl coming to AC Black.
I think so. Is it, I forgot the principal's name that reached out to me.
Miss Ward.
Yes, Miss Ward. So we have 2 dates that we're playing with right now and coming and talking about.
So they didn't wanna have you go to the high school also?
Right now, the invite is only for middle school, I believe. I haven't received anything from the middle school, from high school. I mean, we'd be willing to do that, but right now I'm only communicating with this principal that reached out
Okay,
to
well,
me.
I'll be over there tomorrow, let me talk to them about that, because I would think it'd be more need there, or it's a need both places, but the high school would be way more, because they're more out there and able to get stuff like that, but, it's just there, period, but yeah, I'll talk to Mr. Romes about that tomorrow, if I can get to him. And what 2 dates are you thinking about?
We're playing with the 13th and 18th. We're going back and forth on that one.
13th and
Yes,
18th?
13th and 18th.
And then maybe you could stop there and then come over to the high school, or,
Sure.
I know it's a really busy time for everybody, especially high schoolers. They're just crazy busy right now, seniors and stuff, so. Okay, well, thank you.
Those are the 2 dates that you gave the principal, the 13th and the
We
18th.
started off with some other dates, and now we're down to those 2. You know how it is, it's like back and forth.
Of May,
A
right?
seesaw, I beg your
Of
pardon.
May.
Yes, ma'am.
She was making her calendar today, so
Okay.
maybe she put it on there. And are you gonna speak to the entire student body,
The middle school, yes, ma'am.
the whole, all
Right, they're
6 through 8?
separating them into 3 different time slots.
Oh, okay. So you speak to the 6th graders different than the 8th graders?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's interesting. But you also try to make it fun as well, so.
I don't think we have any new business unless you have anything, Cindy.
No, the last meeting we talked about our national breakfast week, and we had a really good turnout at all the campuses. We give away 2 gift cards per campus, so it did increase the participation because everybody wants to win a gift card.
Yeah.
And, but it was really good, especially for Falk Elementary, because those kids have 3 different entrances, into the building, 3, I think. And so not all those kids go to the cafeteria to eat because they're used to going to wait in the hallway for their classroom. So, we probably had about 60 more than we normally do for breakfast that whole week. And so it turned out really good. And, but yeah, it was really good. And then we'll do National School Lunch Week in fall, so we'll, start there again. But it was a great turnout, and kids enjoyed it, especially they were encouraged by the, servers and the managers to, come eat. They would go out in the dining room and, because at high school, they like to just hang out in the morning. So they were going, in the middle school, they like to play outside basketball. So they went out there and told them to come eat and try to win a gift card. And so it was good, especially to see kids that normally don't eat breakfast, But, we had a good turnaround. And we're getting ready for the Summer Seamless Operation SSO, which is a summer feeding program. So that's gonna be at Charlie Marshall, starting June the 10th through July the 26th. And it's free for children 1 year old up to 18 years old. And ACE program is running theirs in June. Summer Youth for Camp is running theirs. And then we're doing the whole feeding. And it's open to the public as well. Everybody eats free except adults. Adults pay for their own meals. But we'll be serving breakfast and lunch through the whole summer.
That's awesome.
We have certain calendar days we won't be in operation due to 4th of July. And then my whole department has to be at a summer conference in Corpus at the ESC and for 2 days, so, but we're already planning that, working, so we stay busy. We're getting ready for next year, so all good. So we'll get the information out to the schools about the summer feeding program so they can send home to students, so they can come eat, so they can at least have I know breakfast is hard for them to get up, but as long as they can come eat for lunch, the parents can bring them, drop them off, whatever. And then it's only from 11 to 1 for lunch, but we're gonna have a good menu for them to eat every day. At least you get one good healthy meal all day long.
And how did you say you were gonna advertise it?
We advertise through, of course, through social media, through the newspapers. We buy banners and signs and put them out, and then we send out flyers to the elementary schools to send home with the students. And then we also usually Blaze does the all call, and she posts it on like I said, social media, our website page, and we just do the best we can to put it out there.
Sounds great.
Especially because it's free and it's a good meal,
Really nice.
Yeah. But 1 year old up to 18 years old, and it's operated through USDA, TDA, and of course, Child Nutrition Department, so, anyway. So, put the word out there. Yeah.
So you're Charlie Marshall this year?
Yes, ma'am. Everything's gonna be at Marshall this year, all 3
It's
programs.
better, like, one
To keep
center.
them all, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
the ACE program's over there, so.
Right, and they have ACE here also at Falk and Marshall, and then we have the Latchkey and Youth Camp, so everyone's gonna be under one. It's a big
A
planning,
lot of work.
yeah, it is. But that's all I have.
Good deal. Anyone else? I didn't think about when our next SHAC meeting will be. This is our 4th and last of the year, so it will pick up again in September. Thank you all for coming so much, and hope it was good for you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Martha. Yes,
And I'll be back in contact with you.
yes, sounds great.
So meeting is adjourned. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Linda.